A direct object is the word in the sentence that receives the action of the verb. It answers the question what or whom, or as most normal people say, who. Even though whom is correct, I will be using who in this video because using whom just makes you sound like a snob. A grammatically correct snob, but a snob nonetheless. You can have a verb without a direct object, but you cannot have a direct object without a verb. I should put that on a shirt, right? Let's get to some examples. Every time he's on screen, keyboard guy steals the show. So the first step is always to find the subject and verb. So here we have keyboard guy, that's the who of the sentence. So what does keyboard guy do? He steals. So then, to find the direct object, you say, well, what does he steal? My heart? Well, sometimes, but in this example, the show. So the show is the direct object. It is receiving the action. It is answering the question, what? Keyboard guy steals what? The show. Let's do one more example before we turn our attention to some lyrics. Whether he means to or not, sometimes the demon scares his listeners. So again, we'll start with subject and verb. So the subject this time is demon. Verb would be scares. Instead of asking what, this time it is who. So who does the demon scare? The listeners. It is receiving the action of the verb scares. Making sense? All right, let's move on to some lyrics. Starting with an Opeth song, let's see if we can find the direct object from the first verse of Burden. What do you think? Did you find it? Do you need some help? Let's see if you're right. Hit it. Let me stop you right there. So we already have our subject, I. No verb yet, no direct object yet, but honestly, I just needed a minute. I still can't get over this vocal. Let's keep going. And there you go. Carried is the verb. So then you say, well, what did I carry? I carried a burden. So the title of this song is actually the answer. It is answering the question, what? What did I carry? I carried a burden. How'd you do? Did you get this one? All right, if so, 1 point for you. All right, moving on to example number 2, we have typo negative. Take a look at this section of anesthesia and see if you can find a direct object. It's time to see if you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Steele. Hopefully you found this one pretty easy. Subject, I. The verb is pity. I pity what? The fool. Oh wait, no. The living. So the living is the direct object in this example. Did you get it right? Let's try one more if you're up for it. So for our last example of a direct object, let's try Chevelle. So take a look at the chorus of Sleep Apnea and see if you can spot the direct object. Were you successful? Let's find out. Bring it on, Pete. How about this one? Did you get this one right? So if we break this down, subject would be I. Now this one's a little bit tricky because we have a compound verb here, gasp and hold. But we still have a direct object, so we would say I hold what? Breath. Breath is the direct object in this example. So there you go, direct objects in a nutshell. Possible score, 3 points. How did you do with this one? 3 points, that's a selfie with your favorite singer. 2 points, it's a selfie, but it's blurry. And 1 point, you get a selfie, but it's a wax figure of your favorite singer. A huge thank you to Opeth, Typo Negative, and Chevelle for giving us some direct object examples today. And a special thank you to you for watching. Until next time, make sure your subjects and verbs are in agreement. Remember that your doesn't automatically mean you are, and always use the Oxford comma. Bye everyone!